Okay, we're live. So, first of all, hold on. Let me turn this down. Hello, and thank you for tuning in on my channel. I'm gonna shift this a little bit so I'm in some better. I have to get my light real quick because I made really awesome. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm not prepared. My leg is asleep. Ugh. One second. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I swear, 1 second. Okay. So, I am going to a little bit of my story of kind of just how I got to where I'm at and what led me to making music in the first place. So, I would like to start by saying that I've always wanted to make music my whole life. I grew up in a family where my dad is a musician. He's not a musician for his career, but he's always been a musician. I grew up around a lot of instruments in my house and just a lot of music going on. I grew up playing a lot of instruments, and I just always really loved music and would always just listen to music to go to sleep at night. Anytime my parents weren't saying something to me growing up, I would have my headphones in listening to my music. And anytime I was on the bus to school, listening to my music, always. I was the girl in middle school wearing Abercrombie and Fitch and like in all pink and girly, but then I had my headphones in listening to like screamo music. So nobody knew. And I never shared my music with my friends at that age because I was like, I can't let them know what I'm really like. So I kind of just kept that to myself, and it was like music was my own best friend and my own place of safety that I would turn to, and it was only mine. I didn't share that with people. So I always had visions and dreams since I was a child, like as long as I can remember, of being on a stage, performing, singing. I started rapping when I was 11 years old. I was doing like contests, not like legitimate, like professional contests, but contests at summer camp and stuff for like who could make the best song. And I would always make up a rap, and I won the contest. But I've always loved rapping and singing and just music in general. I've always had a big love for music, and music has gotten me through some horrible times in my life. I went through a lot of emotional abuse growing up from people in my family, as well as just kids at school and other people that I would just encounter. I was bullied a lot. I was made to think that I was completely worthless, and it continued into adulthood as well. I dated guys that at first would treat me really well, treat me like a queen and like I'm amazing, and like they're infatuated with me. And then once they won me over and like I started having feelings for them, they would kind of turn on me and start telling me like the exact opposite of the things they would tell me at first. Like, tell me like I'm fat, tell me I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. Oh, you're never going to get anywhere by yourself. You need a man. I know, that's what I'm saying, because I watch my YouTube videos. Whenever I go live on YouTube, I'll look at because it posts them on my YouTube channel afterwards. So I always will go back and look and like make sure that it wasn't glitchy. And there have been a few times. Okay, that's great. That's really great news. Yeah, because I was using just like my apartment's community internet until a couple days ago when I got my own internet set up in here. And when I was using their internet, when I would look back at my streams on here, sometimes they would be a little bit like glitchy at certain moments, but for the most part, they would be clear. But now that I have my own internet in my apartment, it should be completely smooth. So yeah, I mean, I was using the Wi-Fi from the community center because my apartment's located close enough to the complex community center that I could pick it up in my apartment and use it for my TV and everything, but it would just go in and out. So, but anyway, a couple days ago, I went and got my own Wi-Fi set up in here. So now I'm good to go. Shouldn't be any issues. So good. Yeah, I don't know why when I'm on Twitch, it's like terrible reception of me. I have to figure out why that is, because I'm trying to grow my my presence on Twitch, but it's hard to do that when I'm not even like accurately being displayed or the audio isn't coming through right. So anyway, back to my story. Where was I? Yeah, so I dated a lot of guys that treated me really badly, and they were just a lot of guys with pretty low self-esteem. I realize this now. I didn't realize this when I was in these relationships. So you don't dox yourself? What does that mean? What's dox? But yeah, so anyway, I just have always been targeted by people who are narcissists and manipulative people, and like prey upon people who are having like weak moments, like they're feeling lonely or they're feeling like desperate in some way. And I was like that for a lot of my life. Most of my life, I did feel really desperate for somebody to just like love me. And I really wanted to feel loved because I didn't love myself. And so I needed that from an outside source. I didn't know how to love myself because my whole life I was made to think that I was ugly, I was fat, I was like stupid. I had no redeeming qualities. I was told that every day of my life by at least one person growing up. So that was really jammed in my head that I was this worthless human being who like was not deserving of love. So I was pretty desperate for somebody to just love me. So like, the first person, not the first person, but I mean, I had some choosiness, but it was more just about finding someone that like I saw redeeming qualities in, but that also I felt saw redeeming qualities in me, and I could see that they saw that in me. And I would like cling on to that with like all my life because it was the only thing that made me feel worthy of anything, was to get that like affirmation from another person, because I never was giving it to myself. I didn't know how. My other YouTube account uses my real name. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that I respect that. It's understandable. So yeah, I always had really low self-esteem. I really didn't think I was anything special. I believed that I was undesirable, unattractive, and I didn't think that, like, you know, boys were always really mean to me and would like make fun of me and tease me and like come up and grab my butt or my boobs like as a joke with their friends as like a like game or whatever, and then like run away like at school. So I always felt like I was just like an object of no value that people just like fucked around with and did what they wanted and then just like threw me to the trash, because that's pretty much how I was treated by people. So I know that's what's crazy. And I realized that I did sometimes look in the mirror. I had my moments where I would look in the mirror and be like, I'm cute. But then I would have the other voice in my head. I have an angel voice and a devil voice in my head. They both come from me, but they're not both from my truth. One of them tells me things that other people have put in my head. That's the devil voice. And one of them tells me things that actually come from my heart and my soul. And that's the angel voice. So I pretty much had let the devil voice grow so dominant and so strong in my head that the angel voice was like a little whisper. Like I hardly could hear it. And I didn't listen to it because everyone told me otherwise. Yeah, I agree. That's not what matters. But, whether you're physically found attractive on the outside to yourself, that's not a reflection of what other people think of you. Everybody else in the world could look at me and think I'm hideous, but I could look at myself. If I find redeeming qualities in me, I can look at myself in the mirror and say I'm beautiful if that's how I feel about myself. But because it was so jammed into my head that like mentally and intelligence wise and just as far as my quality, it was jammed into my head that I had no quality and I had no value. And so that kind of translated to me as physically. I also was being told physically that I had the same stuff, that I was ugly, da 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 da, all kinds of horrible things that I won't even say on here. But I really felt that they knew better than I did. And so even if I looked in the mirror and I maybe had a fleeting thought of, I'm pretty though, it was like, no, you're not, you're fucking ugly. And then I would be like, oh yeah. So I really believed that. And it wasn't until, I always thought I was fat, ugly, and worthless in every way. And when I was a freshman in college and I moved to California when I was 18 to go out there for college, that was the first time I lived away from home and away from my family. And it was just on my own finally. And I would spend a lot of time by myself because I never got that when I lived at home with my parents and my family and all that. I didn't really get time by myself because I would always have somebody coming in to tell me something or ask me something. I didn't have a lock on my door. I always had people wanting something from me. You know how it is. Your parents are going to come in and be like, hey, go set the table or go do blah, blah, whatever. So finally I had the time to be alone and reflect upon my life and myself and just be submerged in my own thoughts without having the interruptions and the input of everybody around me to like skew my perception of things. Hold on, let me read your comments. Did you get positive comments and such from your family though? No, my family, listen, I don't want to paint my family in a bad light. I love my family and my family loves me too. And they've always been supportive of me to the best of their ability, as best as they know how. However, there were things going on growing up that I know about now. I didn't realize what was going on when I was a kid while it was happening. But now, as an adult and having had time on my own to reflect upon these things, I have had a lot of realizations about why I was treated the way I was treated, what the motive was behind that. And I'm able to understand why those people did what there's no excuse for the things they did to me, but I'm able to get inside their brain and look from their perception or from their perspective back in that time. And I'm able to actually feel what they felt at that time and have an understanding of why they treated me the way that they did. And I've actually had conversations with my sister, because my sister was the meanest and baddest person to me of anybody in my life growing up. She really, really hated me. Me and my sister have a very good relationship now, and we've talked about all of this in depth. And she has told me in adulthood, it wasn't until I was 25 that my sister called me up on the phone one day because she found out that I was still going to therapy and talking about things that she had done to me growing up as a kid, as a teenager, all of that. She called me crying, and for the first time ever, she actually owned up to the things she had done to me. She told me how sorry she was, and she told me why she did those things, and she told me none of it was your fault. You didn't deserve any of it. I just was very insecure back then, and I had a lot of anger and a lot of jealousy towards you. And because of that, I made you my active target, and I chose to take all of my anger and self-hatred out of me and put it on you. And my sister she doesn't feel jealous of me anymore. She doesn't feel spiteful or hateful toward me anymore. We have a very good relationship, and we're not like best friends by any means, but we are close. And that took a very long time to happen because I was very, very mistreated. How would you feel if she never did that? Could you be angry at her? Yeah, before she did that, I still do feel angry about it at times, but it's not what runs my life. And for most of my life, it was running my life. I was a very angry person, but because I didn't understand why I was treated in such a way, I took that anger, and instead of putting it on somebody else, I turned it inward toward myself and was just always deeply, deeply depressed and just really just hating myself and mistreating myself and allowing other people to mistreat me as a result of that. And I was very angry at her. And even after going to so many therapists, therapy programs, rehab programs, everything, I was still just as angry at her because she never owned up to anything. And I would try to talk to my parents about some of the things, like when I was older as an adult, I started telling my parents some of the things that she did to me that they weren't aware of, and some of the things that happened between us that they weren't aware of. And they're both her parents and my parents, so that's hard for them to wrap their head around and like accept that was the reality of what happened. So I can't really, and also I'm not trying to like paint my sister in a bad light to both of our parents. That's never my intention. I don't ever intend to do that to anybody. I think people should form their own opinions about people, and I'm never going to tell a parent how horrible their own child is. That's not what I want to ever do. But I wanted my parents to understand why I felt so uncomfortable around her, why I had panic attacks anytime I was around her, and why I felt the way that I did, because they really didn't understand, and it would always get taken out on me, and I would get blamed for ruining this family event, or like, oh, you just have, like, what's your problem? What's your problem? You know, and it was like they didn't know what my problem was. They didn't understand. And you know, now they understand, but it was like after I kind of explained to them on a very simple level what kind of things had taken place when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, all of that, from her, or between her and I, and how mistreated I was, then you know, they were willing to acknowledge that those things happened, and that they saw a lot of these things happening in our household growing up, but that they really just didn't know what to do about it. And they had the thought that, like, oh, there's two sides to every story. Like, she must have done something to her sister that made her sister act this way. And so that's kind of how it was always treated growing up. But it was a huge relief to me and a huge revelation to me when my sister called me that day to apologize and to give me an explanation, because I never knew. I always was like, why did she choose to do this to me? I didn't understand. And that's what left me feeling so confused and so just worthless, because I was like, I don't understand what I did to deserve this. So she confirmed to me that I didn't do anything to deserve it. It was purely, all of it, all of the treatment and all of the acts against me were purely acts done out of jealousy and anger toward herself that she had to expel somewhere. So she chose to do it toward me. And I I was able to forgive her, but it took me a very, 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 very long time, like many, many years. That was when I think I said that I was 25 when she called me to apologize, but actually I think I was 23 when that happened, not 25, because I'm 28 now. And you know, my parents would really encourage us to have a relationship, and they would encourage me to, like, call my sister and talk to her and spend time with her and da 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 da. And like right after she apologized to me, and I was just like, look, I've forgiven her, and I told her that, and I really am proud of her that she was able to own up for the things she did, and she was able to explain to me what made her act in that way toward me, and that she also was able to express to me that I never did anything to deserve that. You know, that means a lot to me. But because it was a long, I mean, my whole childhood growing up, from the day I was born to age 18, living in that house, I was treated that way. And so you can't just erase that with an apology. You know, I never acted against her or tried to, like, uh, seek revenge on her in any way, but I was the one who was taking on the pain, and I I had to kind of just accept her apology and tell her I appreciated it, and, like, I'm glad that she told me this information, um, and I would like to have a relationship with her in the future, but that, you know, right now, this is new information to me. And I have been put through years and years and years of trauma that I am scarred from, and has shaped me as a person and shaped my perception of myself as a person. So it's not something that I can just rip off like a band-aid and, like, have it be gone. It's always with me. And I don't feel angry toward her anymore at this point. I don't. And that's something that's really freeing to me. The fact that I don't I'm not holding those things against her anymore. I don't feel any kind of disdain toward her anymore. I love her and I have respect for her. And I believe that she has good intentions toward me at this point, but she didn't before. So it was very, very hard for me to trust her. And I still don't completely trust her. Like I said, she's not my best friend. I don't like come to her with everything. Um, but, you know, having been put through all of the um, verbal and emotional abuse that I was, and feeling so low about myself and my self-worth, and putting myself in horrible situations and being put in horrible situations, it really you know, and a lot more. My life could be like a multi-series movie, because there's a lot that I have gone through and that I have experienced that has shaped me to be the person I am today. And let me see. Do you feel bitter about lost time? I mean, when I think of stuff like this in my life, I feel like I missed out on a lot of things because of how my environment made me feel about myself. You know, I think I did feel that way, but I have come to realize I don't feel that way now, because I've come to realize that time is just something that humans decided to measure, and time really only exists right now. The only time that you can take any kind of action is this exact moment right now. You can't go back in the past and change something. You can't go up to the future and change something. All you can do is right now. So I have to just, I had to make the decision to just, you know, there's nothing, it doesn't serve me well to think about what I could have done or what the time that has passed could have been like if things were different. It doesn't matter, because it's in the past. It already happened. All that I can do is think about myself and think about the world and think about my life right in this moment, and decide what to do about it and do with it and what actions to take right in this moment. I can't jump forward and do something 10 years from now. I can't jump back and change something 10 years ago. All I can do is right now, literally. Every time I say now, right then, right now, right now, right now, right now, that's all that we have. Yes, but what could have happened in the past could have shaped the present to be a better present, no? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and it could have, certainly. If things had been different in the past, I definitely would have a very different life in the present moment. Um, and that's kind of what makes it all just really beautiful to me, is that at this point in my life, I love myself, I appreciate myself, and I value myself. And I don't need somebody else to point out my good qualities in order for me to appreciate myself or feel good about myself, because now I'm able to see that in myself. And I don't think I would have been able to see that in myself in the way that I do now, and into the depths that I'm able to see it now, if I hadn't endured all that I've endured in my life. That has shaped my mindset, and that has shaped me to be the person I am today. And I'm really proud of myself, because I have made it through a lot. I've endured, I've been very strong. And this is what shaped me into this person, is all of the past that I've gone through. This is how I got here. And there's a lot more I've gone through that happened after age 18, that has continued to shape me. You know, it wasn't like after that, like that was it. No, there's so much more. Like I could talk for days about it. But the point is that all of it, although it was fucking hell and felt like I was literally being tortured at times, and I really wanted to kill myself at multiple points in my life, when I tried, I didn't succeed. I was supposed to live and I was supposed to be here. I had more to do. And I can see that now. And now I can see what my purpose is here. I've gone through a lot of shit that was really horrible. And because of that, I'm very humbled by it. And it allows me to look at things from all angles for people. This might be weird, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just happy to see something good realized by anyone, not necessarily me. Like, even if I missed out on things or messed up, there has to be someone who doesn't, and it's good to see. Well, thank you. I'm really glad to hear that. And that's a really positive way to look at the world and look at people. I think that's amazing. Guess what I'm trying to say is I enjoy seeing other people succeed where I don't. Yeah, that's great. And that's, that's amazing. Because if you're able to see other people succeed or maybe do something in a way that makes more sense that you feel like you didn't do correctly, or that you feel like you can't do it, when you see somebody else do it, it gives you hope and it allows you to see this is possible. This is actually a possibility for a human being to feel this way or do this thing or whatever. And that's really inspiring to me that you feel that way and that you're able to see that, because I really want to provide that for people. I don't think I went through all that I've gone through just because God hates me and wants me to suffer. No, that's not it. It's because I was able to endure it and I'm still here. And that gives me the power to have very deep empathy for people and to provide people with my story and give them hope and let them know, look, it doesn't end here. And you might feel like you're in the worst pain of your life, mentally, emotionally, or physically, in whatever way. You might feel like this is just your life and like you were just like destined to suffer. But I was like that for most of my life. And here I am prospering and doing what I love and giving it my all and putting myself out there. And I'm actually a confident person now where I never was before. So I just want to show people like, look, you can grow, you can transform, and you just need to give yourself compassion, love, and don't judge yourself along the way, because we're human and we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And it is possible, and it's impossible for things to just stay exactly as they are forever. That's just not possible. Things are always changing. Things are always in motion. And you never know when something's going to come into your head and just give you a new perspective on something, or just open up your eyes about something. You never know when you're going to come across somebody who just says a certain sentence that makes you look at everything in a whole new light. And I really want to just provide that to people because, because everything I just said, I haven't gone through all that I've gone through for nothing. I've gone through it so that I can help other people get through the shit that I've been able to get through, because I know that everyone is capable of getting through it. It's just a matter of having the willpower and having some form of hope. That's all you need. So I really want to provide that hope to people. Yeah, it's never for nothing. It's always to teach you something and to make you grow and to make you stronger. Nothing you go through is just like a coincidence or a random thing, or like somebody's just trying to make you suffer. Like, it's never about that. There's a way bigger picture, and the bigger picture is that it shapes you and it gives you compassion for people, and it allows you to put yourself in other people's shoes in different situations and to say, look, I've been there and I'm okay now, and you're going to be okay too. Yeah, it is a miracle. I'm totally comfortable calling it that. It's an absolute miracle, because I did not want to be here. I know why people kill themselves. I know what it feels like to be in that place where you're in so much fucking pain. You just want the pain to stop. You can't think about anything else. You just want the pain to stop. I know how that feels, and I have lived through it, and I have come out on the other end stronger, wiser, smarter, and able to empathize even deeper with people. And I just want to provide that to the world. I just want to provide that as a resource to the world because there's just not enough of it. Okay, everyone wants to look perfect. Everyone wants to look like they have their shit together. Nobody has their shit together. Everybody's always going through phases of doing good and then doing bad and then doing horrible and then, but at all times people just want to portray, oh, everything's great. Like, but it's not the truth. People hide the truth. I really want to just put the truth out there and let y'all know I'm not perfect. I fuck up all the time. And I'm able to look at those things and recognize them and live with them and learn from them and hopefully be able to provide my story and my stories, because I have a lot of them, to humankind as a whole, to the world as a whole, and have them gain something from it and give them hope. That's all I want to do. And making music has provided me an incredible way of doing that because I'm very in tune with music. I'm a deeply emotional person and I can really feel music. So when I'm making something, like I really fucking feel it. I put my heart and my soul into that shit. And there's a lot of amazing music that has helped me through all of the things I've gone through and helped me have a will to live. But there's a whole lot more of shitty music that is just people trying to act like they're all that and they're like just above everyone. And I'm here to just collapse that whole thing because it's bullshit. Nobody's above anyone. Nobody is better than or worse than anyone. We're all just human beings trying to navigate this world. And we all fuck up in different ways. And we all get hurt in different ways. And I just want to let the world know, like, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. That's all you have to do. Just be you. Because all that people want to see is realness. People are starving for it. Starving for something real to grab onto. And I'm here to bring that fucking realness because shit's too hard to be fake about it. Like, this is what it is. I'm really, really passionate about this. I'm really passionate about just wanting to help people and inspire hope into people and show people, like, look, you don't have to be getting naked or whatever to get somewhere in life. Like, you can just be you and embrace your unique spirit because everybody has a unique spirit. It's just people don't know how to like embrace it and let it out and utilize it. And I'd really like to help people with figuring that out and with just getting there with themselves. Music is #1 form of art for me. Yeah, me too. Poetry, very, very close second. Yeah, me too. And then I also think poetry is so often incorporated into music, which is really amazing because it's like you get the sound, which is all so therapeutic and beautiful if it's done correctly, if that emotion is translated accurately in the form of a melody, it's amazing. It's so powerful. And then to add poetry to that, to add words to that, it can be even more powerful. It's just incredible. It's beautiful. Yes. I mean, yeah, music's amazing. Music is a universal language, you know? I mean, unless you're deaf, then that's unfortunate. And I really hope that you were born that way so you don't have to miss music. because then you don't know what you're missing, so it's all right. But, anyway, yeah. So I'm just really passionate about this, and it means the world to me that you took something from what I was saying and were able to see something positive. I love that, and that's really what I'm here to do. So thank you for expressing that to me. Oh, you said that beautifully. With literature, you have to read it and process it, but music speaks straight to the soul. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Music, you don't have to make any effort. You just got to sit back and just enjoy, and it just speaks straight to the soul, just as you said. It's amazing. And I really think that because of the diverse range of experiences I've had in my life, I feel that through my music, I can reach a lot of people and relate to, or have a lot of people, different types of people relate to my music, because I have a lot that I want to communicate through my music. And it's just a wide range of emotion and a wide range of experiences translated through music. I just want it to reach the people who need it. So I'm happy that it reached you. And yeah, it's very cool. So anyway, good. I'm happy that you're happy. That's good. I'm trying to just, put myself out there as much as I can so that I can just spread the word about my music and just my experience in life as vastly as I can, because I really just want people to stop committing suicide. And not only that, I just want people to know they're not alone. There's somebody else who has felt how they feel or feels how they feel. They're not the only one, because people don't really talk about their feelings. They just think everyone else is fine because everyone puts on a happy face and it acts as if they're fine. And then they go home and feel completely alone because they feel like nobody is going to understand how they feel. And maybe they don't even understand how they feel. And I do. I do understand how they feel. So I just want to let them know that. That's really what it's all about. And yeah, it does seem that way, especially with social media and everything. People always want to put on this image that, they're solid and, nothing can touch them. And it's just like, I look beautiful all the time. I look perfect all the time. And like, oh my God, I have the best job. And oh my God, I have the best place and the best friends and da 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 da. Bullshit. I call bullshit. It's not true. So everybody's out here doing the best they can, and I definitely think the media has brainwashed society to think that they do have to act like they're fine all the time. They do have to look like they're fine all the time in order to be accepted by people. And that is just not true. So on that note, I'm going to go now and finish up what I'm doing. I might go live again in a bit. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys were able to take something positive from what I've said. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate you listening and watching and da 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 da. Keep listening to my music. Make sure you're subscribed to my page so you get notified of whenever I release something new. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. And have a lovely day or night or whatever. For you, it's night. Okay. Well, I hope you sleep very well. And thank you for being so interactive with me and sharing your thoughts with me. I appreciate that. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, guys, much love and see y'all soon. Bye.